Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and on today's agenda we are going to chain drag our pasture. The way it worked out, I went ahead and did the fertilizer and seed, and I just haven't got around to dragging the pasture yet, and it needs it because of the cows and everything. So I think what I'm going to do is drag the pasture to break up the cow patties and that kind of thing, and then I might even come back through with the culti-packer and help push some of that seed down into the ground. If you guys have any ideas on how to store these things, let me know, because what I typically do is I will roll it up, put it on a pallet, and then that way I can move it wherever I want to, plus I can store it. And then when it's in storage, I can move it easily to mow and that kind of thing. So the problem is when you roll it up and put it on a pallet, when you go to unroll it, it's all tangled up and everything else, and you got to fight with it. I think the best way to do it is lift it with the front end loader and store it up on a tree or up against a building or something. But I don't really have a good spot for that. So I got it unrolled, which wasn't too bad other than the pallet was rotten. I got to come up with a better way. But what I do is I use this trailer mover with the hook receiver and a little 3-foot 1/4-inch chain. And the reason is, number one, the trailer mover sets the chain drag well back behind the tractor and you can turn a lot sharper. But the other reason is the lower that you can run this chain drag to the ground rather than trying to pull it up on the front, you know, is a whole lot better. It does a whole lot better job. So now I got to start pulling on it and get it all untangled. So let me get out of the leaves here and try to get that back flattened out. So I got the daggone thing unrolled and unkinked up and everything, and we're laying flat. Here's kind of my setup on the tractor, and having this as low as possible really keeps the front end of this thing from pulling up, and it works very good. You can run these in different aggressive positions, but I typically run it in the position where the teeth are angled back. You can do it to where the teeth are angled forward and it drives like that. It's a little more aggressive than I need. And then they also consider turning the whole thing upside down and using basically none of the teeth, just having like a kind of like a drag mat. That's considered the third position, and that works really good too as far as like final prep on seed or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started here and take you guys along with me. So yeah guys, I'm always torn because I would love to have a chain drag with the 3-point hitch frame and everything, but it really doesn't take all that long to get this one untangled, ready to go. One of the things I try to do, I have no idea if it helps, but one time of using the drag, I'll go clockwise, and the next time I'll go counterclockwise. You can see pretty easy where you went. So the whole idea is to break these cow patties up, and it does a lot of good too. It stimulates the grass. All right guys, I just figured I'd get out and kind of show y'all what we're after. So here's a good spot where there was a lot of manure, and you can tell, you look at how it's all nice and broke up and kind of spread out there. Alright guys, so this general area right here is kind of the hangout spot. It's where we fed hay on the ground this winter. We kind of rotated it all around. But the drag is not really getting clogged up with hay, so it's doing pretty good. It's actually busting that up really nice. Also, this year we did not use hay feeders, and in prior years we've always used a hay feeder, and it was just kind of in one spot and we fed there, and it always got muddy and everything. Now we had a horse, so there was a couple other reasons, but the horse has since passed and now we just have cows. But what I did was out here, I just took square bales and I just placed them all over the place, kind of rotated them daily. And that was really nice because we didn't end up with any muddy spots or anything like that. So it's probably what I'm going to continue to do. We actually took the feeders and took them out of here. So hopefully right here I can demonstrate why I like using the trailer mover and a piece of chain on the drag. Watch how tight I can cut this thing. Hopefully it shows up on camera. I've got the Kubota turned all the way to the max. It is all the way turned. Alright. And look how tight we are right here. So that's what makes it really nice. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this. Be done in about 5 minutes, and then we will catch you guys tomorrow. Hopefully, when I go to get the culti-packer out and just run over the field one time. So here we are, guys, moving on to the next step. I got the tractor out, and this is my culti-packer I got. If you recall, when I had put that fertilizer on, I had the seed mixed in, and it wasn't a full-blown like overseeding rate of seed, but it wasn't nothing to balk at either. So anyways, I could totally skip this step probably, but I mean, I got the culti-packer, I got the time, and I figured we got here and you know, run this culti-packer over it and get that good seed to soil contact. So I got a 3-point hitch trailer mover on just a regular receiver, and I actually, so this culti-packer was on Craigslist, and it's a double culti-packer, and it's an older one, and these things are really hard to not so hard to find, but they're just hard to get a hold of, because all your food plotters and hunters and stuff, when they see these 8-footers and these little culti-packers come up for sale, they buy them, all these hunt clubs and everything. So when I saw this one come up, I basically immediately bought it. It's a really nice one. The only thing I had to do is I had to put a new tongue on it. So I made that tongue. Alright guys, I just pull this thing kind of slow, but it does a really good job. And I tell you, with that concrete block and all in there, it's really heavy. So funny thing guys, every time I've used this culti-packer, it's always been misting rain or wanting to rain or whatever, which usually is a good thing because you got your seed planted. But I had no idea that today it was supposed to sprinkle. I thought it was more like tomorrow. Now I can actually see where I'm going. The grass is a little bit different color where I've went. I thought I was gonna have to get that free app that I use out, but as of right now I can see where I've been. So Maybe once it gets a little darker, I won't. All right, guys, so as you can tell, I'm in my pole barn right now and I'm freezing. What ended up happening was I got rained out for 45 minutes. It was like 60 degrees today prior to that rain. And I didn't think that rain was gonna happen, and it did. Anyways, it dropped the temperature. It put me way behind, all that. As you can tell, it's dark outside right now. I did get the pasture done, cultipacked, and I mean, probably truly best case scenario was, you know, it was kind of raining, misting while I was doing it. So if the seed has any chance, it's got to be pretty good. But anyways, I've unhooked the cultipacker, put it away, parked the tractor. We're gonna call it a night.